Labour is done. Labour is done as a political party. They have abandoned the working class and they are just like all the other politicians, and they deserve 0 seats at the next general election. I want to get into why, which is what this is all about. First of all, Labour advising the monarch and advising government policy was very, very eager to get the former Prince Andrew in the frame in relation to Jeffrey Epstein. Get his titles removed and get him out of the way. I'm not defending Andrew, by the way. He deserves everything coming to him and more. What I'm saying is the government did this as a political manoeuvre. Not because they want justice for the victims, not because they actually care, it's because they want to preserve themselves. And this recent incident with Mandelson, Lord Mandelson resigns from the Labour Party over Epstein links, proves this. What do we know about Mandelson? We know an awful lot. He was one of the key figures in the Gordon Brown, Tony Blair government from 1997 to 2010. He's referred to as the Prince of Darkness, pulls the strings from behind the scenes, very important, very prominent in the Labour Party, even to this day. There's images of him with West Streeting and other images with Streeting's mother. Basically, if you look at the current crop of Labour politicians, they are basically a generation removed from the actual intellectual heavyweights, if you can call them that, of the Labour Party. Your Gordon Browns, your Tony Blairs, who is evil, by the way. He should be in prison. There's no doubt he was a shrewd operator and a political genius, or maniac, depending on your point of view. The current crop of Labour politicians have nothing about them. They haven't got no common sense, they've got no decency, they've got no actual lived experience in the real world. They are the custodians of the Blair Brown new Labour paradigm. And that is why they want to abolish jury trials. This is why they want to clamp down hard on dissent, is to preserve their interests. There we go. Yvette Cooper, Taylor Swift tickets. What has this got to do with the way government works in relation to Epstein files? Well, when Labour came in, they said they wanted a new type of politics. They wanted to clean out the swamp and bring decency and integrity back to the institutions, which they said were corrupted by the Tories. What this actually proves is they are just like all the rest, and this is what the Epstein files will show more broadly. Now, this is a single incident where they gave a motorcade to a celebrity for payments, i.e., free tickets. This is the thing, power, this is the thing that people don't, or by and large, don't really understand. The lobby, the way that people get things done in government, is by buying their way into it, buying their way into access, buying their way into meetings. Just look at Bill Gates and Larry Fink a few years ago with Keir Starmer down in Downing Street. I think that has nothing to do with buying up our farmland from the farms that are going bankrupt. It's the way that the higher-ups have always worked things, and this is the scandal that is going to change everything in my view. I don't want to get into specifics on what who said and he said and she said, because when you look at Mandelson and when you look at Prince Andrew, or the former Prince Andrew, for example, they are what I like to call frontmen. Yes, they're probably guilty of severe crimes. Yes, they should receive the full force of the law. That's just the public-facing ones. These are just the ones that we see on the in the public. How many are behind the scenes? I would say if you got to Parliament of all these people that were corrupt, had their fingers in the pies, insider trading, whatever you want to call it, if you gutted them from Parliament, you'd be lucky to get half a dozen MP and half a dozen lords remaining. Let me look at this one here. Let's just have a look now. 1998 was the first time Mandelson resigned. He resigned as Secretary of Trade and Industry after it was revealed he accepted a secret £375 home loan from a fellow minister. Then in 2001, he resigned again as Secretary of State for Northern Ireland, following allegations later cleared that he had improperly used his influence to assert with a passport application of an Indian businessman. 2004, resignation as an MP, and then 2026, he's resigned the Labour Party whip. Why, as I say, were the Labour Party so reluctant to remove him? Keir Starmer should have acted on this weeks ago. Why didn't he? What does he know? Me personally, I think he knows where most of the skeletons are hidden in the Labour closet. If you look at Nick Brown, if you look at Keir Starmer himself, if you look at all the other Labour front and backbenchers, he probably has a lot of dirt on them. This is why the establishment came down so hard on Lupolo, in my particular view. He was labelled by Nadine Dorries, another Westminster insider, as dangerous. Why? Because he wasn't a politician. That's why they deemed him dangerous, i.e., squeaky clean, liked by many, no skeletons in the closet, no dirt, can't be exploited, can't be bought, an idealist. This is why they wanted him gone. And then finally we got onto this here. This is an accusation. It's an assertion that Mandelson gave insider information to Epstein regarding Britain selling off gold reserves under the Tony Blair and the Gordon Brown governments. This is an accusation. I cannot prove it. I'm asserting that it doesn't look good. But this is what needs to change. This is the way government always worked. If you've been put in by people, if people have bought access to you, if people have afforded you the opportunity to be a politician, what are they getting back in return? What do they expect? What is the reason they put you there? Is to get policies through, is to put through their agenda that they want, and to help the local man or woman on the street, like me or you, that just wants a better country. That's a secondary or third or tertiary concern for them. They don't actually care about that. What they care about is maintaining their power, their wealth, and their influence in the swamp. Other people may disagree. As always, your mileage may vary. But always think, what is the true story? It's not Mandelson. It's not Andrew. There's much more to this behind the scenes that we're not privy to, that we need to be made aware of. If you like this video, like and subscribe. I will see you in the next video later on today. I appreciate your time as always.